How's it going, everybody? It's Spaz Eagle, and today we are on to our final video of the four-part series for the premium tanks from the loot boxes. And for this one, I mean, obviously there's only one tank left, and we got the ISU-152K. Now, out of the four tanks in this crate, this was probably my least favorite, and it's my least played. As you see, I only got 10 games. So, you know, maybe I don't have the best, the best review on this. Just because I haven't played it as much as, I've played the Bazante with 100 plus, Barask 100 plus, and the G's for a couple games. But I just can't figure out this tank for the life of me, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just not the biggest fan of the hull down and, like, the super rigid kind of tank destroyers, as you know. Maybe I have like my grill or something, but it's an interesting tank nonetheless. Yeah, so for my crew, it's kind of similar with my G-Sor. I didn't have any crazy like Russian tank destroyer crews, so this is the crew I have. I took another one of the female reward operators and threw her in there, so at least I have some perks. But then, the rest of my crew haven't even gotten their first skill yet. So, maybe that also contributes to why I don't like the tank really yet. But let's move on to the equipment I have. So for the equipment, I put a gun rammer, because I think it goes from 19 seconds to like 16 or 15 and a half, so it's okay. It's a lot better, especially when you're doing 750 damage a shot. I added improved aiming because I felt the aiming was atrocious on this tank. And then a turbocharger because this tank is super slow, so I really want to try and get this tank into positions so then I can sit down and get ready to put fire out on the tanks. And for ammo, it's kind of what I've thrown on. If you have issues with penetrating, then you throw in some gold rounds. But I really have no preferences when it comes to ammunition. I haven't really honestly lived long enough to have issues with my ammo. So, with that being said, I've got two different video clips for this one, just because. I only have 10 games. I haven't really had anything special happen, and I really haven't been living that long in this tank anyway. So we'll just throw out those two clips, and I'll talk about this tank. So let's get to the video. Alright, so we've loaded into Mountain Pass, and I've got a couple things to explain as this battle is starting. First off, what the heck was I thinking? If you take a quick look at my ammo, I had 4, normal armor-piercing shells and 16 high-explosive rounds. I don't remember doing that, but that's what I had when I loaded into this tank. So I was very confused. And also, I didn't have any of my equipment on this tank that I have now. So the gameplay is going to be slightly different. I was just playing this. I only have like 11 or 12-ish games in this tank. So this was one of my games that I was trying to, feel out, kind of figure out how this tank plays before I did any equipment. But yeah, so we're on Mountain Pass, and I'm deciding I'm going to try and do the bridge. And so I kind of pull up by this rock, and from this little point, I can aim right down the bridge. As long as this Borsig, or yeah, this Waffenträger Borsig kind of stays out of my way. He puts a shot in the Tiger P, and I try as well to put a shot. I see I can pen that, and I just brick it. So that was the point I knew I needed to help with the, the aiming circle and stuff, because the dispersion, because that took forever to aim. And plus the circle was so big, it just wasn't going to work for me. So I'm frustrated, I'm flustered, so now I'm just going to sit here, right? And I'm just going to wait for that Tiger P, and then, that's going to happen when you peek out, right? So, God, I was annoyed by him. See if I can get a shot on the T-34. Nah, he backs up before, you know, before my reticle can close a little bit. So, you can see why I made the decision to lower the dispersion and increase the aim time of that, because that was just frustrating. I missed out on at least two shots of 750 each damage. But for the battle itself, you know, we're up 3-2. I'm feeling okay. Oh, there's Tiger P, and I don't pen the shot. I was so upset. If I had aimed that shot probably a little bit higher, I would have penned. Because, as you saw, when I first saw him, I could have easily penned him. So I'm very confused. Now he's throwing shots into me. I can't see him. Nobody's spotting him. Both my ISU-151 and the Borsig Waffenträger just run from me. So I'm here by myself. I bounce a Tiger P shot, waiting for him to show himself again, because I don't have any view range, really. I'm just not seeing anything. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to hold this point, because that's what I feel like you have to do in tanks like this, where you don't have a turret. So I'm just going to sit here. I know my back is covered, and so I'm just going to hold it. Maybe someone peeks me. Maybe someone peeks me. And nobody's doing anything. And now I'm watching the map, and I can see the 7032 is pushing our flag, and we're starting to lose some tanks. And there's the Tiger. Finally, put the shot in. 856 high roll. Immediately gets knocked out by the T-29 sitting on the spot. And look at this, a Jag Panther, my bad, not even looking at me, waiting my 18-second reload time. He starts to turn, but track him, low roll, because he angled it just a little bit. A Leo back there tracks me. I immediately fix my tracks, and just look at that, 2 shots, 1500 damage. It's just like that's the crazy part about this tank, and I do like that. Because I like derp guns. I like doing a lot of damage in one shot. But then you look back at the map, and there's a lot more than just the 7032 there. But there's a Leo. See ya. I guess a tank like this has that effect on some people. He was terrified. I was aiming up at him. I was about to wreck him with my shot, and I guess he just kills himself. Artillery shoots me, does 69 damage. Nice. And I'm just trying to see if I can do anything. Now it's 9-9. All my team is at our flag. And so I'm thinking maybe, you know, there's a G-Sword there. Or maybe they're all still around the corner. Maybe they haven't pushed. Maybe they know where I am, so maybe they're going to come. G-Sword's there. I'm spotted. He looks at me. I look at him. Neither of us shoot. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's going to go back up, and I'll meet him. I see my entire team against an Emil down there. So I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to make a push. They'll hold here, and they'll probably come back up to meet me, right? Maybe. Now, here's the first decision that I regret making, is going down off the bridge, right? The second I go down the bridge, look who shows up. Some of the enemy team, as they had decided to go south and move around to flank the back of my team. And everything immediately falls apart for my team. Now I'm starting to see that this is probably a loss. And I'm trying to think, what should my next move be? And this is another thing. Look how slow I'm moving. And I was very flustered by that. And that's why I put the turbocharger on. So you can kind of see, this is the game that kind of explained why I made the decisions I made for my equipment. So I think, maybe I should try going to their flag. Which, first off, terrible decision. I'm going uphill. I'm never going to make it there in time to do anything. And my teammate thankfully points it out to me. He's like, dude, they're going to cap it before you ever get there. And I'm looking. And so there you go. There's the comment from Nervosa, that the T-34-2GFT. He's like, they're going to cap. I'm like, yeah, he's probably right. I'm the last tank alive. Is there hope for a comeback? I don't really think so. I see the G-Star and the T-32 on the bridge. Here's my issue. Right here. I'll pause it right before I get eliminated. Here's the issue with my ammo. I only had 4 normal rounds, so I was shooting HE there. Maybe I would have done something to the G-Sor. Maybe I would have high rolled or something. But instead, I do a small amount of damage. I can't even do anything. Because maybe, you know, you see the T-34 there. He bounces me. So it's just the G-Sor I had to worry about, which is why I focused him on this spot. But I had HE. So I did absolutely nothing. G-Sor finishes me off with his 3rd shot. Maybe I had a chance if I had the normal rounds there. But who knows? I end up with 1900 damage and a brutal defeat. But yeah, 1900 damage on 3 shots. That sounds pretty great, right? But I don't know. It's just I had a bunch of issues with the tank. So then I went to go fix it, and so that's going to lead me to the second clip. Alright, so for the second clip, we've loaded into a 2-tier game. Bottom tier, as usual. And we are in Overlord, which is the D-Day map or whatever. And I'm thinking, where should I go? Now, when I'm in any other tank, when I'm a heavy, I like to go beach. When I'm a medium or light, I like to go to the east side. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do as a tank destroyer. And I decided I'm going to take this little top part, right? Because there's a lot of times where people or tank destroyers will be firing down from the top position on me. So I'm thinking I'm going to do something like that. And you see a lot of my team decides to push beach. So I'm like, good. They'll just wrap around me and I'll just see what I can do here. Now this is a very short clip, for reasons you'll see soon. But I thought it's good to show like, you know, the alpha. And I promise, as you see here, look, I changed up my ammo, and immediately turn the corner, I see 2 tanks, and I'm like, you know what? Bam. Just get a shot off. I took so much damage from that one shot, from that one peek. I took damage from the IS-2, and I took damage from a tank destroyer out in the distance. But one shot, 765. You know, I was okay with that shot. So now I'm just gonna sit here and wait, as I have a teammate pulling me up to support. So I'm just gonna let him kind of, you know, do his thing, and we'll see how this goes. So my next move is hindering on what this IS-32 does. And so I see this IS-2 is completely distracted. So I decide I'm gonna pop out, aim at him. He just gets obliterated. My goodness. So I think I'm gonna pause it here too. I think this is where this tank shines. Now obviously that first peek wasn't the best thing I should have done, but I did so much in 2 shots. I completely removed the IS-22 from the game in 2 shots. So yeah, if I get better with this tank, and you know, you have a better, oh, what am I talking? Crew. There we go. Better crew. You know, it's just the potential for this tank is high. And I know I started off by saying that I don't like this tank, but it's a good tank. And if you have someone who's a real tank destroyer master, which I think I am with like a turreted tank destroyer, like the grill. I really love the grill, but I have yet to master, you know, a limited tank destroyer like this. But I think a tank like this, and I'll let the play resume because I don't live much longer after this with my 81 health. But I think a tank like this, with the right equipment, with a better crew, and you know, better positioning. Like, I'm not good with the positioning for a tank like this. This probably isn't the best position I could have been in, but I think you have so much potential with this tank that if you can get a hold of it, you're going to be satisfied. Now, with the rest of this clip, I see my IS-32 push, So I'm gonna try and push because I know there's tanks over here. You know, the 112 kind of fell back, and there's a Tiger 2 here. So I'm thinking maybe I can get a Tiger 2 shot. I'm spotted, so now I don't want to turn the corner unless I absolutely know I'm safe. I should have aimed at the Tiger 2. And I track him? Huh? I don't know. I was whatever. I guess I can't complain. You know, I start to reload again. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for the 112. Big mistake. In hindsight, here, let me back up the replay. So there's the track. Now, let me pause it here. In hindsight, I should have, as I was reloading, I should have gone back around. Where's my mouse? Oh, duh. All right. I should have gone back around this way and gone up from behind my IS-32 and helped him support against this Tiger 2. I think that should have been the smarter play I could have made. But you live and you learn. But yeah, back to what I was saying about this tank. You know, it's a good tank. I think it has a lot of potential. Maybe when I get a better crew and, you know, some more experience in this tank, maybe I'll start pumping out some insane games, and maybe I'll throw some on the channel, you know, if I have some better games. But this game's already over. It's 8-2. I get killed, but it's whatever, you know. But yeah, video 4 complete. I hope you guys liked me reviewing these tanks. And you know, let me know if you've gotten any of these tanks. I think they're all very unique, but they're all pretty fun and they're very good. And I enjoy playing them all, and they're very good at getting credits too. So if you really need credits and you decide to gamble a little bit for some of these tanks, you get any of them and it's worth it, honestly. But that's all I have for this final review. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!